So, in our last look at the Bhagavad Gita, we plunged right into Arjuna's universal vision. It was this absolutely mind blowing, staggering view of everything, where creation and destruction are basically two sides of the same coin. And right in the middle of all that cosmic terror, Krishna says a line that's one of the most powerful and honestly most misunderstood in all of spiritual literature. Let's get into it. I am time, the destroyer of worlds. Wow. For centuries, that single sentence has just echoed, leaving people terrified and completely confused. I mean, it sounds like something a monstrous, cruel god would declare, right? But is that what's actually being said? And that's the big question, isn't it? That's what we're going to unpack today. Are we looking at a statement of pure cruelty? Or is this an invitation to understand destruction and reality itself on a whole different level? To really get to the heart of this, we first have to look at our own reaction. I mean, why do we flinch when we hear that? The answer, it turns out, is all about the lens we're looking through. Okay, this right here, this really gets to the core of the conflict. On one side, you've got our human sense of morality. It's deeply personal, right? For us, loss is a tragedy. It's an injustice. It hurts. But on the other side, you've got this cosmic process Krishna's talking about, and it is completely impersonal. Think of it like a law of nature. It just operates based on a structure totally indifferent to our personal feelings about it. So, here it is, the crucial mistake we all make. We project our own human feelings onto the universe. We're taking emotions like malice or cruelty, and we're just pasting them onto a fundamental principle of the cosmos. The Gita isn't describing a god who chooses to be cruel. It's describing a reality that, well, it just is. And this brings us right to the heart of the matter. If we really want to understand this quote, we have to completely redefine one of its most important words, time, because it does not mean what you think it means. Now, you have to pay really close attention to the wording here. It's so precise. Krishna doesn't say, I destroy things because I feel like it, or I want to do this. He makes a statement of pure identity. I am time. See the difference? This isn't about an action he's taking, it's about what he is. So, what is time in this context? It's not the ticking of a clock, not seconds and minutes, no. It's the unyielding, relentless principle that anything that comes into being must, eventually, pass out of being. It's the force of inevitability. It's impermanence. It's change that you cannot negotiate with. This really clarifies the whole thing. We're not talking about punishment. This isn't karma for doing something wrong. This is about the fundamental structure of existence itself. It's like the universe has this one simple rule. If you arise in time, you must pass in time. Period. You know, think about it like gravity. Gravity doesn't play favorites. It doesn't hate the glass that falls off the table and shatters. It just operates. It's a principle. And in the same way, this cosmic principle of time works without any hatred, without any favoritism, and with absolutely no moral judgment. It's just a process of continuity. All right, so once we get our heads around time as this impersonal force, we can start to reframe that other really difficult word, destruction. What does it even mean when you strip away all the malice? And this is the central correction that the Gita offers. It flips the whole script. In this cosmic vision, destruction isn't some chaotic evil force. It is the necessary completion of a cycle. It's not the opposite of life. It's a fundamental part of the engine that keeps life going. And I mean, you see this everywhere in nature once you start looking. Our own cells die on purpose in a programmed way so that our body as a whole can live and stay healthy. Winter has to end for spring to ever have a chance to begin. Stars have to collapse and explode to create the heavy elements that make up planets and us. So you see, destruction is actually a part of life's intelligence. And here is the profound insight that just clicks everything into place. To hate something, to act with real malice, you need to have a personal ego, a sense of an I that feels wronged or threatened. This cosmic principle of time, it has no ego. It just functions. So let's bring this all the way down from the cosmic clouds to the human level. If all this destruction isn't personal, then why was Arjuna so completely and utterly terrified by this vision? What was he actually afraid of? Because the real terror for Arjuna, and let's be honest, for all of us, it isn't just the idea of dying. It's that ego-shattering, soul-crushing realization that we are not in control. The vision shows him that the great movements of reality, do not ask for our permission to happen. Krishna shows Arjuna something the ego just cannot stand to see. History is already unfolding. The warriors on that battlefield, his friends and his enemies, they are already caught in the current of time, already moving towards their inevitable conclusion. And here's the huge shift in perspective. Arjuna's fear is screaming, "My actions are going to make me a killer." But Krishna's revelation completely reframes it. He's saying, no, you're a participant in a process that's already in motion. Arjuna's action doesn't start the destruction, it's just one part of it. Now, this is a super important point to clarify. This is not fatalism. It's not an excuse to just throw your hands up and say nothing matters. This is what you'd call scale awareness. See, fatalism says your choices are irrelevant. Scale awareness says your choices are deeply, deeply relevant, but they happen inside a system that is vastly larger and older than you can imagine. And we run into this truth all the time in our own world, don't we? You see it when big economic systems collapse, when empires fall, when a new technology comes along and disrupts everything, or when a sudden illness just rewrites your entire future overnight. We ask, why is this happening? And the Gita answers, because all structures are temporary. So as we start to wrap this up, let's go all the way back to that terrifying quote. What we've learned is that I am time, the destroyer of worlds, is not a threat from some angry, vengeful god. It's a stark, completely unfiltered revelation about the way reality actually works. It's telling us that nothing personal lasts forever, nothing that's temporary is ever truly secure, and nothing at all exists outside this giant, continuous process of coming and going. And this, of course, brings us to the great paradox of this whole chapter. If the grand finale is already in motion, if those warriors are already on their way out, then why does Krishna still insist that Arjuna has to pick up his bow and fight? Why does our own responsibility to act with courage and clarity still matter so much? That's the huge question we're going to dive into in our next explainer.